Good morning, online learners. This is Mr. Bourgeois back with another tutorial on SketchUp FollowMe Pro version. What we're going to start out with this time, instead of a triangle, is we are going to use our rectangle tool. And the rectangle tool that we normally use on the floor, we are going to turn that vertical so that it rises straight up out of the ground. And you can see if I use my orbit tool, I can orbit around there and it kind of looks like a door. It's vertical off the ground compared to where the man is standing. And I'm going to use my pencil tool and just to create some contour lines. So you can have it go down, straight, whatever you'd like. And I'm going to hit my escape button so that I create a break in this line. I'm going to start back from the corner down here. And what I'll do is I want to add a curve in here. So a new tool for today is we're going to go back to our curve tool. We're going to choose this second one. This is a 2-point arc tool. If I click on the first point to the second one, you can click both of those, and what it'll do is it gives you an option how you want to pull that shape. And I guess I'll do a interior curve. And what I've done is by using the rectangle as a base, it allowed me to make sure that all of the lines I was drawing are going to exist in this one singular plane. We can go back with our eraser and click the outside lines here and here, and we're left with kind of an interesting shape right there. Similar to what we did last time, I'm going to use my circle tool, and I'm going to make sure that my circle is blue in color. So when I click here, I want to make sure that I grab it and pull it out. And again, we're just going to go right to this endpoint. Back to our Follow Me tool. And I'm going to select this one right here, and I'm just going to use this Follow Me tool to kind of just follow along. It's going to go all the way around, and then if we click right on this edge, right where we started, you can see that we have this kind of futuristic bird feeder that I've just made. So there's a different way, kind of neat way that you can create a new shape if that's what you'd like to use when you're editing your videos. We are going to be using arrays, and an array is a way for us to organize or display a whole row, whether it's straight or curved, of one object itself. So today our object is going to be this one that we just made. So it's round, it's cylindrical. I'm going to use my mouse button to zoom out just a little bit and give myself just a little bit of space so that I can do these arrays. Now with the arrays, what I have to do is, first off, I'm just going to use my arrow tool and I'm going to select the thing that I want to use in this example. I could have used the figure that I made with the Follow Me tool and the man, but for today, I'm just going to use that one right there. Now, when you're doing this, the first thing that you have to do is I did select it and I'm going to choose the Move tool. Now, when you're on the Move tool, you have to hit the Control button. Very important. You have to hit the Control button, and you can see that the little plus button will appear. So I'm going to click once, and then you can see that you can slide that away in any direction. So there it is. Now, if you wanted to duplicate this, you could simply do X5, enter, and it will duplicate your figure 5 times. And you can do that as many times as you want. I did try high numbers, and sometimes SketchUp will crash. So just be aware of that. So basically what I did is I took one, I spaced it originally this far, and then it duplicated itself. There's other ways that you can do that as well, and other things that you can do with this. For instance, if I, again, selected with my arrow, use the Move tool, again, Control button to get the plus. You can also click the original item and stretch it way, way far away. So when I stretched it far away, for instance, let's say I had 2 endpoints and I wanted to put 4 evenly spaced items in there, you can use the divided by 4 command and hit enter, and it will evenly space 4 new models. So now that we've done a linear array or an array in a straight line, let's try one that's curved. So I've picked my arrow tool and I'm going to select my original shape. This time, just as a time saver and an option if you'd like to do it, you can right click and you can make this a component. What'll happen is if you can call it component 1 or you can call it whatever you'd like. I will call mine a birdhouse and hit OK. What this allows you to do is you don't have to select it with the arrow in its entirety. You can just kind of grab it and you can click it and select it and move it all as one piece. It won't fall apart as it does if you don't make it a component. So to make those linear arrays, what I've done is I've selected it. You can see that it's selected. And instead of using the move tool that we used last time, I'm going to use the rotate tool. So for the rotate tool, I'm going to pick where I want the center point of my array to be. So if I pick here, the array is going to rotate around that focal point. So what I'll do is I'll click once, and you can see that there is a dotted line that comes off of here. I'm going to touch the birdhouse, my Alt button, so that I get my plus. And now I'm going to click once and drag a second shape away from the first. I click to lock in that dimension, and I can still do X10 if I would like to duplicate that shape. Let's orbit up over the top, and you'll be able to see, zoom out a little, that indeed it has done exactly what we wanted. You can still do that same technique with the division key as well. So if we undo it, we can again use our arrow key, select our object that we want to duplicate, use my rotate. I'm going to pick my central, maybe I'll pick a closer point, Alt button to get the plus, and click and drag. So now if I wanted to, maybe I'll put it all the way over here. You can do divided by 4, and you can see that it equally spaces those out. Okay, boys and girls, so the real question is, what do we need to turn in for full credit on this assignment? Well, what I've done is I've created a few different arrays, starting with my original design that I made, and then I just duplicated that 4 times. After that, I did a X10 linear array right here. The next one was a divided by 5 linear array. For the third one, I used an X10 curved array. And then the very last one, I did a divided by 5 curved array. The last thing I wanted to show you is I will be asking you to put your name on your paper. And if you originally start out and your name is too small, we can just simply click on it, press the S key on your keyboard for scale, and then you can enlarge your name so that way you can kind of zoom out, you can place it correctly, maybe orbit around so that you can see your name, and then just send a single screenshot and attach that right to the assignment. And there you go.